Well, how you doing, guys? Another evening, another barbel trip. Decided to come down as it's going to be quite a nice evening, quite cloudy, but it's preordained to become very wet from midnight onwards, and I am fishing into the small hours, so you can't get everything that you want, but the river does need a good drop of rain. So without further ado, I'll show you what I'm using, same as my other videos. That's a Shimano Barbel power rod, that's the Vengeance, Marco Cortese MK2 center pin on my low resistance running setup, incorporating the Palatrax the hook, size 6, and Palatrax Stones lead replacement system. Bait wise, with me I've got a little bit of the following. That's mainly birdseed mixed with a little bit of mainline sweet marine ground bait. You know, I like to fish pulses, I like particle kind of tactics on the river, on a lot of my rivers, especially if I'm barbel fishing. And got some mainline activate boilies and paste, and that's going to be the hook bait this evening. Mainline activate with a little bit of BASF fish hydrosylate mixed into the base mix, and matching paste. Lightly, very frugally bait up the swim behind me, high bank, nice looking spot. I'll pan the camera around right now so you can have a quick butcher's. There you go. Looks a bit of alright, doesn't it? Got a very deep margin, I say very deep, good 5 foot. Goes underneath a tree over my shoulder here. A few tree roots there, and then you've got further out, you've got a nice break, streamer weed and reed mace. Looks spot on. So I'm going to give that a go this evening. As I say, plan of attacks is a light amount of ground bait. As always, very low on the amount of bait, hook bait that I'm going to put in, or loose fed hook baits. And just see if we can pick up an opportunistic fish as it's coming along this evening. But as I say, I do like to fish into the small hours if I can. I do think at times it does pay dividends. But yeah, it's a lovely evening. It's a shame it can't be like this, you know, sort of like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, because it's forecast to absolutely lash down. So just with that in mind, I've brought my smock with me and I bought an umbrella. Yeah, fingers crossed. My last trip was actually a blank. I fished 2 or 3 swims, had bites in the first, and yet I moved from the first swim. That's really unlike me, and it's a crazy thing to have done. Why would you move from a swim where you're getting knocks and taps? But that's what I did. Chanced my arm in another good looking spot and blanked. So in my last 3 barbel trips, I've had 2 barbel, which isn't bad going considering how fickle anyone who knows this river can be. It can be very, very fickle. But yeah, just nice to be out, and just nice to be having a line in the water with a chance. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you. Let's crack on. Let's get a little bit of ground bait in there, and let's get the hook bait cast out. Or should I say, lowered in. Just got to get it under the trees just right. We're in, guys. Oh. good fish. Oh. Oh. Come back, come back, come back. Oh. Keep out those snags. Oh, that's a good fish. Oh, he's not having it. I'm going to put the check on, guys. Oh, it's a good fish. It is a good fish, guys. Oh, come on. Out there. Oh. Out of there. Oh God, ain't ready yet. It's taking me all over the show. Have an excuse. Oh, that's good fish. Yes! Oh, cracking! Oh God. Excuse me, but that was one hell of a scrap. Sorry about any of the footage there, guys. I had to get down on my knees. Get down on my knees and pray. That screamed off. Oh, what a scrap. Oh. And that's why we do it. That's why we do it, guys. That's a nice double. Ah, lovely. Come on. Put myself back. There you go. How about that? How about that? Absolutely brilliant. Beautiful condition. As I say, £12, 5 ounces. Absolutely cracking nick. Draw myself back. How about that for a fish, eh? What a build, eh? Staunch scrap. Took me upstream, took me down, put me under the weed beds, put me through the weed beds, back out the other side, and then back downstream again. What a corker. Pull myself a bit further back just to show the proportion. What a beauty, eh? Made up to bits. Look at that. What an absolute pristine looking River Loddon barbus. Happy days. You bet you. Yep, made up. Look at that paddle. Whew. Let's get this wonderful £12 5-ounce crackerjack slip back now, shall we? Well, time to say goodbye to a wonderful fish that gave me a wonderful scrap. Off you go, back to the depths. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Just about calmed down. Pardon me. All packed up. What a cracking trip. Tell you what, my last trip in this particular spot, I had a very violent take. Took about 2 foot of line off the pin. And left it. Now, first thought, most people always think first thought chub. Now, I keep diaries over the years. I've kept a lot of diaries, and now keep most of them on the computer or even on my phone. Most of them are on my computer of more recent years. But I was looking back over my written diaries, handwritten diaries. 2008, I had 2 barbel off the Loddon, and they both gave the same type of bite. And so what I tended to do was leave the bait there, even though he pulled it, because I leaded about previous trips, so I knew it wasn't too snaggy. I knew it hadn't gone into too much weed. On this particular trip prior to this one, I decided to give it 45 minutes, and if nothing happened, wind in just to see. So I weren't 100% okay with the swim knowing if it was fully clear, even though I'd leaded about a little bit. So I wound in, recast, blanked. Now I knew, looking at my diaries with the kind of bites, I knew it wasn't a chub bite. Just gut instinct, and the actual chub can take violently. Trust me, they really can. I mean, a few weeks back I had one of about £1.5 that ripped line off the centre pin. But I don't know, gut instinct just told me that that particular bite that I'd had on the previous trip in this particular spot wasn't a chub. So fast forward to this evening's trip, and I was getting plucks and taps. There was a few crays knocking about, you know, clawing, bomp, bomp, and then in between that it went quiet. I did get a couple of hard taps. Now it went really quiet now because the way the crays can be. The bait had been out there for a couple of hours, and I thought, yeah, better check it. Wound in. Of course, it had gone quiet with the crayfish, so I knew something was in the area. So I was kind of a bit annoyed really when I wound it in to find that the bait wasn't too bad. So what I did was very, as quietly as possible, swung cast, but lowered and dropped the front of the rod down just as it entered the water, so it didn't make too much commotion. And I rewrapped the bait in paste, just so you know that fish was taken on mainline activate, and that was also mixed in with it, has got British Aquafeeds fish hydrosylate, so I've added my own little signature to the activate, and also got matching paste. So I rewrapped it in the matching paste and put it out there. I knew I had 45 minutes left, the clock was ticking, and yeah, within 10 minutes it's absolutely ripped off, and what a scrap. Oh, really done me in a good one, I tell you. Got a little bit of chinked up line further up, but I've got to say that the Shimano Technium that I use, invasive, I rate it very highly, and it's all I've been using for a good few years now. Very confidence levels are very high in that particular line. But yeah, what a scrap, and what a fish, what a build to her. You know, that's why we do it, that's why we go. So it's keeping the faith. You keep the faith and keep on going, and don't you know, let your head drop. Keep positive, and then magic moments like that can just pep you up. And I would got to say this, given how I was treated by a certain pair of anglers a couple of trips back, that I'm going to say right now, that's karma, guys. You know who you are. That is karma. Anyway, yeah, enough of me being a bit, you know, a little bit ballsy there, but it's a fact, that is karma. But yeah, really nice to get one like that. Nice to get one of that build and that kind of scrap. What a staunch battle. Put me to the test. I mean, I always say it put me to the sword, but it really did. It took me to the edge. I mean, tore off downstream. I got reed mace downstream. I got more trees in the side, and got her out of that. She then buried in the streamer weed further out, then went back upstream, then tried to cut in and do the old chub manoeuvre, you know, go under your near margin, that'll get him. Nearly did as well, nearly did get me. But got her out of there, slipped the net under her. What an absolutely gorgeous fish. Anyway, do excuse my rant there about those two other anglers, but I had to say about it. If I just sit here and just like stew over it, you know, it's not as good as getting it out in the air. Anyway, I'm sure they'll be watching this. Anyway, enough of my waffling. I've enjoyed filming. I've enjoyed picking up that cracking barbel. And yeah, if you see another angler on the bank, don't treat them like rubbish. You know, be decent towards them. And if you've got a problem with them, say what you think they've done to you. Don't just run off or walk away or treat them like a load of rubbish and walk off. It's not the way to be. It's not very mature. Anyway, I'm diverting off subject. Let's not go there. It's been a brilliant trip. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm absolutely done in with that fish, and as always, it's a pleasure bringing you the video. So if you have enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't liked it, give it a thumbs down. And if you're not subscribed, do take time to subscribe and hit the bell icon. You'll be kept up to date with all my latest videos and the back catalogue of older videos to watch. And if you do enjoy the videos, do take time to share them on your group pages and forums. That'd be most gratefully appreciated. Anyway, I'll catch you on another flip side of another video, and yeah, tight lines, and I hope wherever you're fishing you're having a good one. Supposed to be a bit cool at the weekend, apparently dropping down to 9, but I can assure you guys that is just right for a bit of barbel fishing. Anyway, see you next time. Goodbye.